One franchise is praying Summer League doesn't matter. We didn't just draft an all-time bust, right? After all, Trae Young was terrible, Knicks star Jalen Brunson was a joke, even Victor Wembanyama struggled. But what we just saw from number 2 pick Alex Sarr ain't normal. And I'm not just talking his stats. He still has a problem he's had since high school. But that's not all we learned in Summer League. Just how good is this number 1 pick? And an NBA player's son proved he belongs in the league. But I don't want to pretend like anything is set in stone. Alex Sarr could have an awesome first week in the NBA and all of this goes away. But the Wizards gotta feel nervous at least. He was insanely inefficient in game 1, but you know, all good, you have some nerves. Game 2, even worse. Then game 3, 0 for 15. If it was the regular season, would have tied for the second worst game of all time. You don't want to overreact to Summer League, but it was unusual for a number 2 pick. His PER was the worst of all first-round players in Summer League. It makes you wonder why the Hawks passed on him at number 1. Did they see this coming? It started when Alex avoided them in interviews and workouts. He refused to go to Atlanta, trying to force his way elsewhere. So did Trae Young dodge a bullet? Well, Alex had good spots like his passing and decent rim protection, but you expect a top pick to be at least decent on offense. But I told you guys MyFitFoods is the best. We have gotten great reviews since we've started working with them here on AM Hoops. I have been eating their food for a long time now. It comes vacuum sealed, no preservatives, no added sodium, and the best part is it's delicious while helping me meet my fitness goal. I have cut recently, but I'm finally ending a long cut. And I'm gonna go into a bulk, but the best part is I don't have to switch it up at MyFitFoods. All I have to do is get the same meals that I already love every single day in a slightly larger portion size. They have free delivery options as well. It is the most convenient and healthy way to stay fit and enjoy your food. So if you live in the Houston area, use my code GIVEAFIT30CK for 30% off. But if you live in the general Texas or New Orleans area, use code GIVEAFIT20CK for 20% off. Again, use my 2 codes to help out the channel and get delicious meals. The problem goes back to high school. Alex went from France to Overtime Elite. It's a school that preps guys to go pro. Coaches used to beg him to be more aggressive. Head of basketball ops Damian Wilkins used to say, dude, no one's gonna block your shot, you're 7 feet tall. And sure enough, he had plays like this, where he breaks a dude's ankles with a jab step. But what was that? How do you not drive inside? Settle for a 20-foot jumper? Or how about getting barely touched in the paint and falling down like he got karate chopped? Look, this would be fine if he was a good shooter, but he's not. Dude shot 19% from the field. And take out his 0 for 15 game, it was 28%. In Australia last year, he scored 9 points a game. So did the Wizards just use the number 2 pick on a guy who can't play offense? I mean, is being passive something you can even overcome, or does it follow guys into the league for years? How did he have 17 3-point attempts and just 4 free throws the entire Summer League? You're 7 feet tall and you can't shoot, go inside. Remember, Summer League is a bunch of G League type guys. What's it gonna be like when he's getting guarded by Anthony Davis and Bam Adebayo? And Wizards fans are nervous because they've seen this before. Since John Wall in 2010, they have drafted just 2 All-Stars, Wall and Beal. 3 legit busts, but players they could have taken still on the board: Kawhi Leonard, Giannis Antetokounmpo, Tyler Hero, Tyrese Halliburton, Alperen Sengun, Jalen Williams. Is Reed Sheppard next? DC chose Alex Sarr over Reed, and they might regret it. Kid debuted with 23 points against the Lakers, but another game was even more impressive. The Wolves double and triple teamed him, and Reed missed his first 8 shots, so instead he made tough passes. Look at him hitting teammates out of double teams. He was in control with plus defense, averaged 20 points on 49% from 2, 39% from 3, 3 steals and a block as a 6'2" guard. Houston might have got lucky he fell to them, but now there's a problem. When they drafted Reed, it raised some eyebrows in Houston. because the Rockets already have a young star guard, Jalen Green. Jalen fell out of favor with coach Ime Udoka early last year. He was benched in big moments because of inefficient shooting and bad defense. But when Alperen Şengün got injured, Jalen took off. In the month of March, he scored 28 a game on 40% from deep. One of the best players in basketball. Half those games without Alpi. So the thinking is, he doesn't have to share the offense with Şengün, or maybe the lane is more open for Jalen to drive. Either way, there was buzz about trading one of them, Şengün or Jalen Green. Then they draft Reed Sheppard. If this kid is this good, it might be the end of Jalen Green in H-Town, but it gets really interesting because the Rockets gave Brooklyn their first-round picks back in exchange for 4 very valuable first-round picks. So Woj immediately reported, it's because the Rockets wanted to get Kevin Durant. They shut that down real quick, but they also went after Paul George and Jimmy Butler. These guys are serious. So now that they've got Jalen Green's potential replacement, do they get a star quick? The Athletic reports they've got eyes on Zion Williamson, Devin Booker, and Donovan Mitchell at least. But I want to get to that NBA player's son who looks legit. And no, it's not even Bronny James. You know how bad this draft was when the poster for Summer League was Bronny and not the #1 pick. But Bronny did have 2 decent games after his bad start. I want to give him credit. He dropped 12 and 13 points in back-to-back games, hitting about 50% from the field. Not bad. But that's nothing compared to Scottie Pippen Jr. He's the only player in Summer League history to drop 20 points, 5 boards, and 8 assists a game. He led the Grizzlies to the final with a 23-point, 10-board, 10-assist triple-double. Then in the championship, 29 points in a loss. I'm not saying it's definitely gonna translate, because he's had several years to make it into the league. He's 6'1", but Memphis now needs a backup point guard. They lost Tyus Jones to DC last year, and Marcus Smart is playing off the ball. But what about that #1 pick, Zachary Rijache? How did he look? Well, he only played 2 games after a quad injury, but watch this. His very first bucket, a tough lefty finish over 7-foot Alex Sarr. And look at these ball skills. Behind the back dribble, oh, smooth no-look pass for a 3. Kid is a 6'9" wing doing this. His best attribute is defense. He plays off the ball, will be a really good fit with Trae Young. Dunk of the summer went to Alondes Williams, who ended AJ Lawson. I've never seen somebody pull it back that far. But let's grade every single lottery pick based on the Summer League. The only real disappointment was Alex Sarr. And before Chet Holmgren, if you look at 7-foot-tall crappy shooters taken #1 or 2, you got James Wiseman, Marvin Bagley, DeAndre Ayton. These are all bad signs, people. I'm not saying Summer League is a killer, but I would at least be very nervous as a Wizards fan. The good news is next Summer League will be awesome. We have potential stars, including Cooper Flagg. People said this draft sucks, at least no stars. It looked like they might be right. But if Sarr is this bad? Hey, maybe the Wizards tank it yet again for a top pick. And speaking of James Wiseman, his old teammate Steph Curry, the most popular player in 2015, and Under Armour at the time looked like a legit competitor with Nike and Adidas. Then, overnight, the company completely collapsed. But how did Under Armour fail with their own version of Michael Jordan?